Now, one of my favourite songs of yours is called El Shaddai. What inspired you to write that, and what inspires your writing in general? Because I know you studied writing at university, didn't you?
I did some, yes. I'll have to tell you, I have sung a lot of songs that I didn't write. But because I was maybe the only person that recorded it, people assumed that I wrote it, and El Shaddai is one of those songs. But that was written by Michael Card and John Thompson. I recorded it when I was 21. That was a long time ago. And but that song is probably the most memorable song I've ever recorded, and it's just the story of God's interaction with man in a very concise way. And it's beautiful. And I've got to tell you, I have sung that song in settings that had sort of no spiritual backdrop. I was playing an arena in St. Louis, and there was everybody there, and I was just with a guitar. Everybody from Lady Antebellum, which is a really popular country group, to comedians, old pop artists. Anyway, I think the band Styx was there, and anyway, it was Sunday, and I got up and said, you know, we traveled. I didn't have a chance to go to church, but let's just remember who gave us the gift of this day. And I sang the song El Shaddai. It got a great response. Anyway, the man on stage that came up after me is a famous comedian, and he is so he is such a curmudgeon and foul-mouthed. His name is Lewis Black. Anyway, he on the spot made up this whole shtick about my husband and me, faith, and he kept sort of countering his experience against it. Anyway, that he wound up recording that, and it became part of a comedy record that won a Grammy this last year.
Wow.
I would never suggest that you listen to it because it is really foul, but it's so funny how, I mean, the beauty of life is how it's all mixed in there. Yeah. And he was touched by the song. He turned it into part of his comedy shtick. But I just feel like that life is the most interesting when people from all backgrounds are put together, and we all bring our perspective, our faith, our need, and how we find that we connect with each other. So, but I love playing the song El Shaddai in non-religious settings.
That has been one of the significant factors of your career, the fact that your albums, a lot of them, have been regarded as crossover albums, reaching people who are non-Christian and Christian. Why have you found it important to take that approach?
I grew up in a Christian family, but maybe because I have a stubborn streak, maybe because I was the youngest in my family and I was forever being told what to do by my 3 older sisters, not to mention my parents. But things that I felt I had discovered on my own always meant the most, not what I was told. And I might have discovered it through a mistake or a good choice, a bad choice, an accident. But when I first started singing songs about faith, about the love of Jesus, I always mixed them in with songs that were not about faith. When I was, I guess, 15, I did a program for an all-girls school. And back to back, I sang this Carole King song, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow, about, you know, it's a great song, but about, you know, it's a woman sleeping with a guy she's whoever he is. This is not a permanent thing. And I sang that back to back with a song about the love of God. Because I knew I was singing to a bunch of girls who had all kinds of lives, and some of them were living one way, and somebody in that crowd just slept with a guy last night, and she's feeling pretty bad about herself. Or not bad, just whatever she's feeling.
Well, why do you think certain people would find that controversial? Because that's one of the terms that's been said about your music at one point in time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always made sense to me that faith has the strongest message in the context of everyday life. And so that's why I've always tried to create within a record pictures of everyday life. And, you know, I guess it's, I don't know. Yeah. It's always been a little bit of a mystery to me, but I think I've gotten letters over the years of people saying I'd never walked into a church, but I heard your song on the radio. I went and bought your record and found my way to God. Mm-hmm. I've heard that hundreds of times. And what a great journey for that person.
Yeah, definitely. Now, what would you say to the millions of singer-songwriters who look at you and think, wow, you know, I'm so inspired by her music, by who she is as a person? What would you say to encourage such individuals?
Music is a powerful tool, and it's an amazing experience for any of us to have an idea that we find incredibly compelling and to take the time to put it into a song. In fact, in this world of everything's a soundbite and just a bit of information here, a bit of information there, one of the greatest experiences about being a songwriter is you have to sit still and think about something. If I'm trying to communicate this thought, first off, what do I really think? What do I really believe? And so I would just say that always be genuine in your writing and realize that if you say something that matters to you, whether it's happy or sad or an eternal thought or just something about what you ate yesterday, if it matters to you, there's probably somebody out there that it's going to matter to as well. And yeah, I mean, music has the ability to connect us to each other, and to ourselves.
That's awesome. Now we've come to the end of our interview, but before we go, what is next for Amy Grant?
Next for me, I'm writing songs for a new record that I hope to begin recording in January. And I'm always hoping the best song is yet to be written. My plan is to write and sing until I'm an old woman. The size of the crowd does not matter to me. I feel like everybody needs music, and when I'm 80 years old, there's going to be a gal across the table that's 80 going, I feel the same way. So that's my plan, is just to keep on.
Awesome. Well, Amy, it's been such a privilege to have you on the programme today, and I'm so inspired by you, and I'm sure there's many people watching who also are. So thank you for joining us, and we wish you all the best for your future.